Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about my uni experiences so far. I've just finished, well I've still got one exam, but I've nearly finished my first year at uni. It has been a struggle, so much of a struggle that I've actually written a list for this video to know that I've covered everything, because I've got a lot to say about it. It's a very passionate subject of mine, so I thought I'll do this as a whole video rather than a little snippet of another one. If you follow my blog and my Twitter, you'll know how much I have to say about uni. Twitter I usually just moan about uni, and my blog I express a little bit more about my views about uni and my experiences. I will leave all of my posts to do with uni below because they might really help some people that are about to go to uni in September, and yeah, I know that I would have loved to have those little posts last year, but I couldn't find any. So I'm going to start off by talking about school, which you might think is a bit weird because we're talking about uni, but I'm going to be talking about school and... oh god, my cats are fighting. When I was in sixth form, so that's like college or something like that for you guys, they were very hot on uni. They wanted pretty much 100% of their students to go to university because it would look good on their statistics. Why do schools do that? Like, they're jeopardising our education in future basically. My school in particular, I don't know if this is the same for every other school, but my school was hot on people applying for UCAS, doing their personal statement, applying for every university possible. And there was a lot of people, some that I personally knew, that didn't want to go to uni, and they've never wanted to go to uni, and that is fine. However, my school were like, no, you have to apply to UCAS, you have to write your personal statement, you have to apply to uni. If you don't get in, you don't get in, you can do whatever you want. If you do, then great, but you know, which shouldn't be the case. It's our future, we should choose. And that made me really angry because I didn't know any other options. I chose uni because I've always wanted to go to university anyway. So I didn't really consider the other options. However, if they educated us about the other options, then I might have considered them as well as uni, such as apprenticeships. I know for a fact that some people I know wanted to apply for apprenticeships, however we don't know how to do it because we haven't been educated. It's always just been uni, which in my opinion is so wrong. Uni is not the only way. My ex was very passionate about, you know, don't go to uni, you can do good without it, which he has done, and he's one example of why you don't need to go to uni in some cases. Obviously, if you do need a degree for your career, such as a doctor or a teacher or something like that, then fair enough. However, my sort of career, I don't necessarily need it, but it helps. But I could get other things that would help me as well. School need to focus more on other options as well as university, because university is not the only option. I applied for university and I got my first choice, which was Greenwich. My sister had just graduated from the university on the same course, so I knew I was in for a good course. When I got to uni, I started and it was good. I was okay with it. It was, you know, it was obviously very nerve-wracking, but I expected that because it's like starting fresh basically. You're on your own, meeting new people. I am still living at home and going to uni, so I didn't have the stress of moving away and, you know, all that. But in a way that was more stressful because you don't know who you're meeting on your first day of university. You haven't gone to, personally I didn't go to any freshers events because they weren't really that good, if I'm honest. And I didn't really want to go out with people I didn't know and get drunk with people I didn't know because, I don't know, that just doesn't sit well with me. Whereas if you are living away at uni, you would have lived with those people for like a week or so you would have known who you were going with, and you can all go back to the same place, whereas I would have had to travel home by myself, and it just didn't work out. So I didn't go to any freshers events, and I don't regret that at all really, because like it wouldn't have changed anything, if I'm honest. I know that most of my friends didn't actually go to any freshers events, so it literally doesn't change anything, and yeah, I don't regret it at all. So my first few weeks, I made some friends, I was okay, but we did get a lot chucked on us all at once. I don't think I was prepared for that. We didn't necessarily get loads of work chucked on us at once, but we had a lot of expectations, and they literally told us the whole 3 years in one lecture, and my mind just went into panic mode and I was like, I can't do this, I can't do all this work, and it is a lot of work, it's so much work. Even like the first year has been so much work, and I think the first year is what you make it. If you're the sort of person that's going to go to uni and just sort of slouch around and go for the social side for the first year, you're not going to be that bothered. But for me, I was going to uni to get my degree, to get a good job, and yeah, just to further my education into something that I'm very interested in. And it was all very daunting. I got told I was doing these presentations, these reports, these essays, exams, whatnot, and it was just all very much, and I knew I shouldn't be sort of taken in that much then. I should have just focused on the first few bits, but I took it all in and I panicked. The first few weeks of flying was sort of just settling into actually uni itself. Then we started to get the first bits of work and I was writing down everything. I remember it so clearly. I think it was a Tuesday, so it was one of my early mornings. I had to leave home at 7 to get there at 9, and that in itself is just horrible. But I remember waking up that day and I was not happy. I just didn't feel happy and I didn't want to get out of bed, and when I did, I just felt so horrible. I just didn't want to go. I couldn't explain how I was feeling because there was something about uni that I didn't like and I couldn't pinpoint what it is, and it really stressed me out because I was like, what am I not liking about this? Like, I've wanted to go to uni for so long. Why am I not enjoying it? And I knew it wasn't the course because the work I was fine with. The people, you know, were fine. It was just something I wasn't feeling happy about and I couldn't pinpoint it. And I think that's why I got so stressed, because I was like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, I found that really hard. And that particular morning I remember so clearly. I woke up, got ready to go, and it was probably like 5 minutes before I was going to leave. I just broke down, just panicked. I just didn't want to go, and I don't know why. I just panicked and I was just so scared and I didn't want to go. I called my friend who lives in Norfolk, so I was like, I need someone else to talk to that's not around me. So I called her, cried down the phone to her. She was like, just calm down, there are other options if you're not happy. And yeah, she talked me through it and I was fine. And then one of my other friends came down in the morning, like 10 minutes after I'd been crying my eyes out, and she just sat with me. And I decided to stay home that day because I would have been late anyway, and it was all just, the day was over already. I was just ready to sort of cry in bed for the rest of the day. So my friend came down, she sat there with me, she went through everything, and I felt a lot more at ease, but I was still very unsure. I think the problem is that I knew I had a time limit. If you were to drop out of university, you would have to drop out by Christmas time, I think it is. If you dropped out any time after that, I think you had to pay or like something like that. There was a time limit. So I was like, oh my god, I need to make decisions, I need to do this, I need to do that, what am I doing with my life? The only way I can describe it was it felt like my life had literally, like my life was so good in the summer, I was really happy, I was ready to go to university, I got my results, I was really happy with them, I'd done really well. So life was pretty good, and then as soon as I went to uni, it sort of felt like someone had just thrown my life up in the air and it was all in little bits, and it just crumbled. It was like a crumbling rock. I had seen a few things that my ex-friends, shall we say, have written. They didn't know I saw them, they still didn't know I've seen them, but I did, and they were saying that I wasn't allowed to feel this way because I hadn't moved away for uni. So that fueled my anger and my emotions, and I got myself so worked up and so angry, and it made me question if I was allowed to feel this way. Was I allowed to feel this anxious and stressed and worried and unhappy because I hadn't moved away? I didn't have that stress of living away. That's utter BS. It's just so wrong. Like, you can be stressed regardless of whether you've moved away for uni or not. You can still feel so alone even if you are still living at home. You can just enclose yourself in this massive bubble of stress and work yourself up so much that you just don't know what to do with your life. And I genuinely thought that I was going to drop out, and I was convinced I was going to do it from the start. I had debates for a good week or two with my family and friends about what I should do. Yeah, it was difficult, and I spoke to one of my sister's friends who had just graduated obviously with my sister, and she had the same sort of feelings as me, and she said just to stick at it, and I thought I'd trust her because she understands where I'm coming from, and I'm so glad I did trust her. And I spoke to people online, so on Twitter and everything, and they all gave me advice. I spoke to some of my friends, and yeah, I had a lot of people there for me, but I still felt so alone, and I just got myself into such a state, and I was just so unhappy. So the first few weeks / months weren't great. I hated it. I wanted to just drop out. I remember going into uni one morning, I got there early, I went to the library and I sat there looking for jobs. So that basically sums it up. I was looking for jobs while I was at uni. The irony of that is amazing, but yeah, I was not happy at all, and I didn't want to be there, and I couldn't imagine being there for 3 to 4 years. So after all of that, I finally settled in. I think it was around Christmas. I'd settled in, I'd made more friends, and got closer with people, and I was happy. I was okay with it. And I thought, I can do this. I was set myself a challenge, like I am going to graduate, I am going to do this, I'm going to finish this year at least. And I did. Yeah, now I'm feeling a lot more positive. I mean, it's still very stressful, but it's the natural stress of uni, like it's the obvious, you know, I've got a lot of work to do stress. It's not like stress like, oh my god, my life is failing and everything. That's what I felt like. I felt like I'd failed already before I'd even started, because I was having second thoughts about it. But in reality, I think it was just overwhelming, and I didn't expect it to be like that. Uni, it's very touch and go, I think. You can completely fall in love with it, but then you can also be the sort of person that just hates it, and I'm sort of in the middle. I have days where I'm like, yeah, I can do this, and days where I'm like, oh my god, I just want to drop out now. But I think I felt that about school as well, and like I'll do anything to go back to school now. So I think it's just a natural thing that we all go through. I don't think any of mine was abnormal, so I didn't really, you know, I didn't really focus on it too much. I plodded through, and that's one thing actually that really helped me. I spoke to one of my friends who had gone to Oxford uni, so he was he's very hot on uni, he loves it, and I remember talking to him and he was just saying, just plod through the year and it will get better. That stuck in my head, and I was like, okay, I'm going to plod through. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make myself proud, make everyone else proud, and prove I can do it. Not just to myself, but to other people. And now I'm doing my last exam and I'm done for the summer. It's gone so quick. I can't even process it in my mind, but it's gone so quick, and I didn't think it would go this quick. It's crazy. Like, people say it goes quick, but like this has just gone crazily quick. Like, oh, it's so quick. I can't even think about it. Recently I've been speaking to people about it, and they're like, oh well, you know, just drop out of uni. You don't need uni, you know, you're getting so stressed about it, blah 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 blah. But if they knew what I was like when I started, then they definitely wouldn't have said that. They would have said, carry on because you're doing great. And I am glad I've carried on, and I am very proud of myself. I genuinely can't believe I've managed to survive a year. And I know the first year is probably the easiest, work-wise. Emotionally, I don't think it's the easiest. I think it's probably going to be the hardest, because I didn't expect anything. So I know that I've got over the hardest emotional part of it. But yeah, I know that it's going to get harder with work and everything, but I'm ready for that now. I've settled into uni, I've, you know, sorted my mind out, and I'm ready. The next steps are to do this exam on the 18th of May, get that done, then I have the whole of summer. I'm just going to relax and enjoy it, go on holidays and just chill, see some friends that have gone away for uni, because I haven't seen them for literally a whole year. So it'd be nice to see some of them. After my second year, I'm planning on doing a placement year. So I'll take myself out of uni for a year and do a full-time job in a business or company that I want to potentially work in after I graduate, or like in the sort of job I would like to do. and I cannot wait for that. That's actually one thing that's motivated me, because I'm more of a hands-on kind of person. I don't work well with like books and like, you know, I don't really learn much from that. I learn more from going out and doing the job. So I think this will be a nice balance, because it's something to look forward to. It's going to give me that experience alongside my degrees. I think the main problem these days is that we have degrees but we don't actually have that much work experience. I'm going to get a balance of that, make sure I do as much as I can to make myself stand out when applying for jobs. I don't really know what else to talk about. But yeah, all I'm saying is, if you're going to start in September, you're going to start uni, or if you're living at home or moving away, it will be hard, but you can do it. You can get through it, and you'll look back on it and you'll think, you know, why did I overthink that so much? You may, you know, not enjoy it at all and drop out. That's fine. Drop out if you want. It's your choice. If you seriously think you won't be able to do it, drop out. If you get so worked up that you get anxiety or something like that, drop out. It's not worth your happiness. Genuinely upset, if you're getting yourself so down that you're getting depressed or anxious or whatever, drop out. Seriously. You don't have to do it straight away. You don't have to do it straight after school. You can wait a year, wait 2 years, wait 10 years. You can do it when you want. You can do your own thing. Take it as it comes. Don't look, my advice is, when you're first starting, don't look at the year as a whole. Look at it in bits. So maybe term by term what you have to do, or week by week what you have to do. Because I think when you sort of put together everything at once, you're like, whoa, like this is a lot. I had probably 7 or 8 reports, 7 or 8 essays, like, well, I can't even count. I had so many presentations, because my course is a marketing and advertising, and communication, so you had to obviously present a lot to get used to communicating with people, which has helped my confidence a lot. I've only got 1 exam this year, but I have got a few exams next year. I've had time-controlled assessments this year. It's been a lot, and when you look at it as a whole, you think it's impossible. But as you're doing it bit by bit, it's actually not that bad, and it's doable. You might not get the best results sometimes, but the first year isn't about the grades. As long as you pass, that's all you need. So don't be too hard on yourself. I remember the first few things I got a first in, and then my grades dropped a little bit and I got like 62s and like 2 1s and things like that. And I was hard on myself. I thought, what have I done wrong? I've accepted the fact I'm not going to get a first all the time, and I will struggle with some things, and that is fine. As long as I get a degree, I don't actually care. It would be nice to have a first, but you know, it's not always the way, and that is fine. Just do it for you and no one else. If your school is forcing you to go to uni and you definitely don't want to go, don't go. Do your thing. Whatever path you lead or you go down will be the path for you. You know what you want, you know what you want to achieve, you know where to get there. So do it. Don't listen to anyone else, just do it for you. And that's the only bit of advice I could really give. Just do it for you. Set yourself tasks, make yourself proud, because it's you that is doing the work, it's you that is going to uni every day and sitting through those lectures, however boring they may be. You are doing it for you, and no one's telling you you have to go to uni. Like, you can have a full-time job if you want. You don't have to sit through those hour lectures every week. You can go and have a job if you want. Anything is fine as long as it's getting you to where you want to be. I think I'm going to leave it at that because I could ramble for hours. So, thank you for watching this rambly video. I'm sorry it's probably a little bit boring for some of you, but I think it might be helpful for a lot of people starting in September. If you would like to leave some questions or thoughts in the comments below, or maybe some other advice to give to people, then please do. I think this is such a nice place to share your views, so you're more than welcome to share your views in the comments about university and maybe advice for people. think it would be really helpful for some people, and I know that I would have loved something like this, so hopefully this has been helpful. And if you would like to know anything else, obviously ask me in the comments. And yeah, I will also leave in the down bar the blog posts I've done about university and sort of the update posts I've done throughout the year. I think they've been really useful. So good luck to anyone starting university, good luck to anyone starting a full-time job, good luck to whatever you are doing. You can do it. Do not doubt yourself. Once you doubt yourself, you're put into a frame of mind where you think you can't do it. But you can, and you will, and it will get better. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.